Welcome back to Horizon 180. Yesterday, had the honor of attending a high school panel discussion about the future of journalism. Asbarez and Horizon were invited to the AGBU High School. And along with me right now are two other panelists, Asbarez Assistant Editor Allen Yekikian and Liana Aghajanian, who's a freelance writer, and she has her own online website called yanyanmag.com. And before we talk about what we talked about yesterday and what the kids had to say, tell us quickly about Yanyan.
Yanyanmag.com is an independent Armenian publication geared towards non-Armenians and Armenians. It covers a lot of independent news subjects that happen in Los Angeles and the diaspora, as well as the Caucasus region. So
things that we would not see maybe taken time to write about in our paper, you'd probably do a story, like some of the things that you've done. Tell us what you've written about.
Yes, I recently published an article, first in the series, about what it means to be gay and Armenian. I recently did a few things about Women's International Month and how to feel and look at things as an Armenian woman, and domestic violence, things of that nature that we usually don't talk about.
And today you had a story about Eva Rivas that everybody's talking about with the Eurovision contest coming up.
I did, yes.
Alan, you were there with a bunch of 25 kids plus their parents plus one of the teachers at the school. Summarize what they wanted to know from us. Why did they invite us over?
Well, basically they wanted to know, one, what are the prospects of journalism in their future, where it would lead them, and two, where is journalism going? So if there were students in the audience that were thinking about following this route, where they would need to be, where they would find themselves in 10 years, and basically telling them about the landscape and how it's changing.
Okay, and that's definitely changed. When 20 years ago I went into journalism, I would go to an employer for 2 or 3 years, have a contract, and change stations after that or change cities. But now you've graduated from Northridge recently, and what you're doing is freelancing for the different papers, Glendale News Press, Burbank Leader. You have your own site. Is that what is going to happen in the future, you think, in our industry?
I do. I think that to succeed in the journalism industry today, you need to have many facets to your own resume and skills. And it's becoming a multimedia world on many different levels, and the more skills you arm yourself with, the better equipped you'll be for jobs for the future.
So you told these kids that are thinking about journalism what they need to be prepared for. I think we have also talked about how knowing Spanish in California would be the biggest asset. We also talked about Aizartong, which was the Haituk piece that was published 2 weeks ago. Alan, talk about how Aizartong was promoting citizen journalism, which is what Liana's doing. Right.
Well, one of the major themes we kind of talked about during the panel discussion is citizen journalism, and imparting motivation to the students to kind of get up and record their lives, record their communities, and basically share what's going on around them with their friends. And that's basically citizen journalism. And as major corporations start to stop focusing on local news and local communities, it's going to fall more and more on citizen journalists and small local bloggers to pick up the slack and start exposing things that aren't being talked about and reporting on things that aren't being seen.
So it's kind of also exciting for people who want to write stories, because you pretty much, Liana, get to choose what interests you and whether you're going to write about it or not. I mean, that must be the best part of your job as your own blogger, as your own magazine publisher.
It definitely is. It's very liberating to get to decide what you want to write about, and with a click of a button have the honor of saying that you have a byline and that you're published. And for people who love writing, that's a goal, to be published somewhere. And so the internet has created this amazing platform for people who want to be published to actually be published. And you get an audience, you get people, you meet new people online, and it just creates this amazing new community for you. So it's definitely a different asset of the journalism industry. And
we talked about multi-platform journalists yesterday, Alan. This is something that you're doing here at the Asbarez Horizon. Talk about how people get your message from print to video to text to tweets. Talk about all that stuff that you're doing now.
Right. So Asbarez is the multi-platform paper. We have a Twitter account. We have a presence on Facebook. We're in people's email inboxes. We have the website, which incorporates YouTube video. and we're print. So basically, we're taking the news and bringing the news to you everywhere you are and everywhere you aren't, to make sure that it's as easy as possible for you to stay informed and connected, because one person might not use YouTube, might not use Facebook, but is on Twitter 24/7. Well, on Twitter, our headlines are being blasted out every day.
So it's truly what we were preaching yesterday is happening on some fronts also. Liana, what are the difficulties of being your own publisher? When you call on behalf of the LA Times, like you work for the LA Times, or you call on behalf of a magazine, the newsmaker recognizes the story or the publication and wants to talk to you. But when you call and you say you're calling from Yan Yan Mag, are they hesitant?
Most of the time they haven't been. They've been very receptive, which I've been amazed at. I've done a lot on the site that I thought I could never accomplish. There are a few figures that I've interviewed that I never thought it would be possible to get through them without a PR person. One of them is Michael Markarian, the Vice President of the Humane Society of the United States. And it just shows you that if you just reach out and put yourself out there, then people will respond to you.
Very well said. And give us the website of your paper so people can click on it and read it after our broadcast.
It's yanyanmag.com, IANYANMAG.com.
And why did you choose IAN as the first of the three versus YAN as the first of the three?
I didn't really think about it, to be honest with you. It just kind of naturally came. I thought an I would be better before a Y.
Okay, alphabetically it makes sense. Alan, yesterday, were you walking away with a lot of hope about these kids' interest, the fact that high schoolers are interested in journalism and writing?
I was, Paul, because you saw people were coming up to us and asking how they could join what we're doing, how they can volunteer for us, how they can just write for us and keep in touch with us, and that was amazing because you don't see too many people out there who are jumping to grab a pen and a notebook and go cover a story or write for you or edit for you. And that class was full of young people who wanted to make this either their lifelong hobby or their profession. And that was kind of inspiring too.
Okay, thank you very much to both of you for your time and your insight, and bravo to their teacher, Paul Martin, who is encouraging them, and they have a blog that they write. They want to do all this stuff, and I think they even asked you to come and lecture when they get their journal program going.
They did. I would be more than happy to go back.
Awesome. Thank you very much. We have more ahead, and we're going to talk about the ARS and its 100th anniversary. Stay with us on Horizon 180.